Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the HerStory Online Summit. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating sister. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to our tribe. She is known to our community, has spoken several times. It gives me great honor. Please introduce yourself, tell everybody your name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Yes, I am so excited to be with you, Gertrude, because it just matters that we get this information out. So, what I want to start off with, my name is Dr. Inez Bracy. I'm a health, wellness, and lifestyle coach, and I work with you where you are to help you get to where you want to be. And this is an amazing journey, not just for my clients, but also for me, because everyone is different. And because everyone is different, it makes a huge difference in how we see things, how we behave. All of that comes into play. So, one of my favorite things to do is to start out with this poem, and it's all about taking care of yourself, a dream deferred. So, when you think about a dream deferred, what do you really actually see? And when I think about a dream deferred, I think about all the time that we allow other people to tell us who we can be, what we can be, and all of that. And as it turns out, when we defer our dreams, I have learned since I've been studying more and more about health and the body and how it works out, I have learned that every time we dishonor our dream, our calling, we find that things inside don't always work the way we want them to. And that's one of the reasons that we have all of these autoimmune diseases. That's why we have the diabetes, high cholesterol, all of that stuff. I'm not going to get into all of that. But what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sow and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust over like a sugary sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Something to consider. And when we think about a dream deferred, what dream are you deferring now? What are you saying to yourself every day? Oh, I'm going to drink more water. Oh, I'm going to take a few more steps today. Oh, I'm going to get up and I'm going to exercise. What are you doing for yourself? So I'll just use me as an example. I love, love, love my mornings and my afternoon. I love my whole day, as a matter of fact. But mornings are crucial for me because the way that I wake up and start my day determines what my day is going to be. So, one of the things that I'm going to talk about today is about drinking water. Yes, good water. Water that actually fuels your body, gives you the water that you need, because your body is always, all your cells, systems, organs, all of that get together, they work together. And water is the oil. It's like if you have a car and you decide not to put any oil in the car, or you just forget because you're so busy running and ripping. So when you get in the car and you're busy running and ripping, and one day you get in, you start it up, and something pops because you have no oil. Now you got to get either a new oil thing or whatever. That's what we do to our bodies when we are not giving it the water that it deserves. I have learned, and I follow Dr. Yaki Awaken a lot because what he says makes sense to me. Previously, before I started eating vegan, I did the triangle for the food pyramid for the United States. And a lot of people around the globe are using it, but a lot of people aren't. So, in using that pyramid, have you ever thought about this? Let's say you have a meat, you have a vegetable, you have a carbohydrate, you have another starch, and you're eating them all at the same time. Each one of those foods digests at a different rate of speed. So as you begin to think about this, what's happening as it's going through your system? And that's what started me to really noticing there are some foods that I could eat, and as I am eating them, I could feel my stomach pumping out, punching out. And something says to me, you know, Dr. Inez, you really need to reconsider this food or reconsider how you're mixing them together. That's also a part of drinking water because the body requires the water that you drink in order to stay healthy and to heal the body. One of the things that you don't hear much talk about is H3O instead of H2O. H3O, and you might want to take some notes as I'm talking, is all about eating proper fruits. Grapes with seeds in them, watermelon with seeds in them, apples with seeds in them, lemons with seeds in them. I went to the store the other day and I was in a rush. So I picked up this bag of lemons and I brought them home and I cut them open. Not one seed to be found. I was so disappointed. How is it that we have come from growing food with seeds so that we could grow our own if we desired, to having seedless fruits in so big of an abundance? So once we start to hydrating ourselves, especially with grapes with seeds in them, and you could just eat that throughout the day. And I can tell you something, eating those grapes when they're in season, I found, and my clients find, that you don't eat as much, you feel full but not stuffed. And in doing that, it gives me the energy that I need to continue doing the work that I do. So whether you're working out or engaging in all types of activities, be mindful of what you're putting into your body. One of the things about the pyramid, that chart that tell you what food to mix up together, it has in it about proteins. And most of the proteins that we are told about in that pyramid all have meat, which would be a secondary protein because the first protein is going to come from veggies and fruits. So this is something to consider as I'm going through this. Dehydration is a terrible thing to experience, and I can share that with you. Back in 2013, Cicely Tyson was on stage in New York on the trip to Bountiful, and everybody's going, well, she's getting old, you better go see her now. So I went to New York to see her. And she was excellent. The play was awesome. And then as I'm leaving the theater, I'm like, I don't get to New York that often. So I'm walking around and I had water with me, but I wasn't sipping it because I'm so excited about looking at the buildings and all of that. So as I'm walking around, and I had taken the bus from DC to New York and I had to take the bus back. So I was on the boat bus that's never, ever late. That one time it was late for departing to go back to DC. And guess who fell out in the street dehydrated? Yours truly, with my almost quarter of a bottle of water still in my hand. Don't let that happen to you. So then they rushed me to the hospital, hydrated me, and the next day I was able to get out. But I said that to say this: whether it's winter, spring, summer, or fall, and this was August the 28th, I will always remember that date. Always drink your water with you. Take water with you and drink it, because you don't want to have that experience. I can guarantee you it is not a good experience to have. And why am I talking about water today? Because it's still hot. I live in Florida. It's still hot here. And even when it cools down, it's still important to have water. And as you go through your day, remember that your cognitive function depends on the water. Your digestion depends on your water. Every cell in every organ, every system in your body depends on water. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, Dr. Inez, that's going to make me go to the bathroom. Yes, it should. It should. And be excited when you have the opportunity to go to the bathroom. Some people can't go. So they start getting all bound up inside. Now you got to go to the hospital to have them do something to get it out of you. So as you are going through your time today, tomorrow, just to leave a little tip with you, remember that water matters. We also remember that the foods that we eat matter. And for those of you who are exercising, walking, going to the gym, or whatever you're doing, water matters. And now I'm talking about water. I'm not talking about a drink with something you put in it to make it taste better. I'm talking about just plain water. Because many times some of the things that we put in the water causes us to get dehydrated because it's not supporting us in the hydration that we're longing for. So as you go through your day, as you go through the rest of your week, just remember this: water matters. Not only is it matter for your cognitiveness, for your movement, but think about this: it's also good for your skin. Water matters. So as you are getting adequate hydration and you having the water that comes and you drink it and you notice your skin starts to feel better, you start to look better, and you don't have the dryness around your face and your mouth, that's all because you're drinking water. When you drink water, nothing beats it except having proper organic foods. Living in the United States, wherever you are, when you go to the store, I shop the outer aisles. And I have also found, even shopping the outer aisles, where they have fruits and veggies. Many of them are GMO'd. Many of them have lots of pesticides in them. And when you shop the inner aisles, I mean, you can have a loaf of bread with this much ingredients in it. Why? So be mindful as you're going through deciding how you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, and why you're going to eat it. My mantra is this: get healthy, stay healthy. And the longer you get healthy and stay healthy, you will notice the difference in the joy that you create in your life. I love being joyful. In fact, when people ask me, Inez, how are you doing? I'm always exquisitely fabulous. And that's because I choose. See, that's another piece to this hydration and food and everything else that you do. You have the opportunity, not just the opportunity, you have the obligation, just as I have the obligation, to be good to myself. See, self care is the new health care. And when we start doing the self care, making it our new health care, many of the times, if you have been going to physicians, taking pharmaceuticals, they start to wean you off of them because you're taking such good care of yourself that you no longer is required. So just to wrap this up, drink the best water that you can find. Now, if you have a glass jar, a glass, be sure to drink out of glass, because when we buy bottled water, we don't know how long it's been in the bottle. Have you ever noticed there's no expiration date on bottled water? That's something to consider. Why is that? That is because they don't know how long it's going to be in the bottle. And as you get water, you can pour it into a glass, put some quartz in it if you wanted to, some aventurine. These are crystals, and let it help your water just feel you. Even amethyst is good for this, just so that you have the best that you can give to yourself. And the more you give yourself the best, the better your skin is going to look, the more energy you're going to have. And people are going to be saying, girl, you know you're looking good. What are you doing? Always remember to tell them, get them involved, so that they also can live the life for which they came to this planet in a way that is so joyful and blissful that it just makes all the difference. It matters.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Yes, this is just wonderful. You know, you are sharing with us some basic principles about life. They say that we are 90% water.
Mhm,
We carry so much water in us, but we're not always conscious of the quality of the water that we're consuming.
mhm,
And when I listen to you talking about fruit, especially that fruit that doesn't have any seeds in it,
mhm,
you've got to be so wary and suspicious of all of this GM modified foods that are going to have an impact on our bodies in the long term.
mhm,
So You must have at some point in your life come to this realization. What was the turning point for you to go down this path, to eat healthy? I know you're vegan. What was it that made you make those choices?
I watched the video Forks Over Knives, and in that video, it showed what happens in the meat factories when they're doing the meat. It shows when they are just spraying all kinds of stuff on the veggies and the fruits. And I said to myself, no more. So I've been doing this for over 5 years now. No more. Because I want to be here for a lot longer than a whole lot of other folk. And I want to be healthy. My whole intent is being healthy. Some
Yeah.
people are here and they can't get out of the bed without assistance and all this other stuff. That's not who I am. My whole thing is to be healthy enough to walk. I live on the second floor. It's got 22 steps to get to my apartment. I
Wow.
like that. And I go up and down, up and down. I'm like, oh, you got this going, girl. So, whatever you can do to move your body,
Yeah.
whatever you can do to make sure that you read the labels and don't just pick up some lemons like I did and get home. And if I will not eat it, I will not give it away. I put it
Mm.
in the trash because my whole thing is to be healthy, stay healthy, and to help other people get there as well.
Now, can you explain why seed-bearing fruits are more beneficial for our health compared to their seedless counterparts?
Yes, I can. Their seedless counterparts are all GMO'd. In
Mm.
fact, I was looking at a tape the other day and it showed how you have the seedless oranges now.
Yes.
They cover them with some kind of netting so that the bees can't get to them to pollinate them.
Pollinate.
And so that stops that. And then, of course, when you look at the almond milk, they have to wake the bees early to pollinate the almonds, which causes a lot of bees to die because they woke up too early to pollinate the almonds so that you can have almond milk, which I don't do
Oh,
any of that milk stuff
wow.
like that because it's not good for you. It's not healthy for you, even though is more healthy than the animal milk.
Mm.
However, it still is not the best thing that we could do. Coconut water is absolutely divine. I love coconut water. And that
Right.
is really is fresh, is good. And who doesn't like coconut water? I love
Mm.
coconuts. Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, you talked about the concept of H3O instead of H2O when it comes to hydration. Can you elaborate what H3O is and how it differs from the regular water in terms of the benefits in our bodies?
Perfect. Thank you so much for that question. H3O comes from the fruits that we eat. So you go to pick it off the tree and you're getting the H3O. The berries, the watermelon, the all of this fruits that you get. That's the H3O.
Mm.
So when you see the H and the 3O, right? So then you
Yes.
have H2O. With the H2O, it's almost like it's kind of man-made kind of thing because you're
Yeah.
not getting the value from the H2. It will give you water and it will, give you some lubricants, but the H3O is better for you, and that way you would drink even less of the H2O.
Okay. Okay. Now, you advocate for eating fruits and vegetables as the primary source of protein rather
Mhm,
than relying solely on meat.
mhm.
How can people adjust their diets to incorporate a more plant-based proteins while still meeting their nutritional needs?
That is such a great question because with the vegetables and fruit amino acids, you're getting them fresh from the
Hmm.
plant. Now, why am I going to eat the meat protein when you think about it? Because the animal ate the plant,
Yeah.
which became the amino acid for the animal, but it's
Hmm.
not necessarily for the human. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, it makes
So
sense.
when you are eating the fruits and veggies, that makes the difference. And raw fruit and veggies also make a difference. Because
Mm-hmm.
every time you add heat to it, you're breaking it down into some different substance. Even though it's feeding you, you're not getting all the energy that you can from it, all the nutrients that you can from it.
So, water plays a critical role in cognitive function and digestion.
Mhm.
Can you explain the connection between hydration and overall mental and physical well being?
Wow. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for that question because when the body is depleted of water, you become sluggish,
Yeah.
your organs are not working correctly, your cognitive ability starts to fade because it's almost like having a mental block about it. And when it
Yes.
starts to fade, now you start wondering, well, why did I not remember that? Well, why am I forgetting things? Because you don't have enough water for the
Mm,
brain. Oh, and by the way, let me just say this as well. See this right here?
yeah.
Stop, please stop putting it here, putting it here, putting it here. This right here has very strong electromagnetic frequency. It sort of works like a microwave. People
Mm-hmm.
think that when you're using a microwave, it's cooking whatever the bread or whatever is. The microwave actually only cooks the water, makes the water boil, so that you think that it's cooking the food. But that's what it does. That's
Okay.
what this does to your brain. So if you're going to be
Oh,
doing anything else, you might want to get if you. I use the earplugs that I have to plug in so that it's
right.
away from me. I see all these people walking around with these earplugs and they don't realize the electromagnetic frequency is boiling their brain. And I had a slide, I have two of them that shows before you started putting on you, before these came out and everybody started using them, to what it does
Oh,
to the brain when everybody started using them. The first one, without all the use of it, is nice and green and yellow, might have a little red dot here. The second one, once you start using it, is mostly red all the way around.
that's not good. That is not good at all.
And then when you put that with not getting proper hydration,
Yes.
you can see
That
how the mental health crisis that we're in right now is probably one of the biggest things that we've had in a very long time.
long
Because
time.
many
Yeah.
people don't realize that they're having a mental health crisis because it's just so easy for that to happen.
Mm, mm. Now, many people hesitate to drink more water because they fear the frequent bathroom trips. What advice do you give to people who struggle with drinking enough water throughout the day because of this?
I will say this to say that once you start drinking in the morning when you wake up, 8 to 12 ounces of water,
Mm,
when you first start, it's going to come right out.
yes.
Then your body begins to adjust to it and demands it. So that when you awaken, the first thing it's going to require is for you to give it some water.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
once you give it water, now your body starts to adjust. So it's not just going to come out. So if you just got in like 30, 40, 50 ounces a day throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
then you, when you first start, yes, you're going to go to the bathroom quite often. But as you
Okay.
continue your process and your protocol, you're going to notice that the body's using more of the water. And because it's using more of the water, you don't have to go as
Don't
frequently.
go to the bathroom that much. Okay. Now, you've highlighted the importance of drinking pure water and avoiding additives or flavored water. How can people ensure the water that they consume is of high quality? And what should they avoid while choosing these hydration options?
Wow. Okay. One of the things that is very good to avoid if you possibly can. I know in some places bottled water is the thing to buy and to
Mhm.
drink. And most of the bottled water comes in plastic. Even though they say BPA free, you don't know if it's been sitting out in the sun how long. You don't know if it's
Wow.
been sitting in a warehouse how long. And in warehouses, they are not calming them down with air conditioning. So what are you going to do? What I would suggest is, if at all possible, to get yourself some kind of a filter system. It could be one
Mm-hmm.
that you attach to your faucet in the kitchen. You
Yes.
can have, and you can use that. Or it could be one that you don't attach, but it has the filters in it, and you pour water in it, and then you take the water out the bottom.
Yeah.
There are so many ways that we can save, and it actually saves money when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is to drink out of glass if possible,
Mm.
because when you're drinking out of plastic, okay, first of all, you know how long it's been in the plastic bottle. Now you pour it in the plastic and you're drinking that. So the good thing is to drink out of glass when you can. And when I mentioned about the amethyst, the aventurine, and the quartz, if you have a mesh kind of bag or something that you could put
Mm-hmm.
them in, put that in the bottle in your glass, and then pour your water, let it sit for 15 minutes, and then you drink it like that, and you get a better quality of water.
Okay. Now, I love, love, love the fact that you stress that self-care is the new healthcare. How does maintaining a healthy diet and staying properly hydrated contribute to the overall self-care and longevity?
Wow. It contributes to it because when we consciously make the decision, like I did, that I'm going to treat me better,
Yeah.
I'm going to honor my body, I'm going to honor what I say I'm going to do. And in doing that, when you start to honoring yourself in such a way that it becomes automatic when you go in the store to reach for something that supports you and being the best that you can be and creating the best style life that you can possibly have. When you get to that point, and you make a promise to yourself. Say, I promised myself when I watched Forks Over Knives, I was done. I was done.
Mm.
And I've been done. And I love it because my body looks better. I released like 60 pounds that I was carrying around.
Carrying.
And what I like about it is, even in releasing that weight, I don't have any flab. You know what I mean? Flabby,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
I like that. So when you make the decision to take exquisite care of yourself, do it. Do it.
Yeah. And do it properly.
Mhm.
Yeah, they do say that your health is your wealth. Unless you are healthy and vibrant, you can't even go to work, you can't function. It is a new currency.
Mhm.
So, as someone who is passionate about helping people stay healthy, what are your top three tips for individuals who are just beginning their journey towards eating healthier and staying hydrated?
The first thing is this: make a decision, first of all, that I'm going to stay hydrated and I'm going to eat healthy.
Hmm.
When I'm working with my clients, I have them remove one thing at a time for 4 weeks, just one thing. So we can do anything for 4 weeks. And once we take that and change it, remove it, change it to a different veggie or fruit or something, then the next 4 weeks you add something else, another fruit or veggie. And that's what you do. And as you begin your process, you will have favorites that, like my grapes, I just love them. Watermelon, I love. So as you find your favorites that are in season, see, that's another thing too. Because in the United States, and I know in Australia and other places, we get fruits and vegetables from all over the world, any season. But when one of the things that happened to me, I'm gonna be quick with this. When I was in Fiji, it was watermelon season. I was eating watermelons, and one day I went to the market, asked for watermelon, nobody had it. So one of the vendors who knew me said, Inez, come here. You cannot get watermelon anymore. They are out of season. Watermelon out of season? Because we get it anytime we want to in the United States. And that also put a little twist on it because I'm thinking eat seasonal, regional fruits and vegetables. And you will find that life will be so much easier. And yes, some of it will cost a little more, but wouldn't you rather pay more and be healthy, your best healthy self, than pay less and know that the GMOs and the bioengineered and all this other stuff is killing you?
Fantastic. Yeah, it's interesting, the whole seasonal fruit and vegetable thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so where are those fruits and vegetables coming from if they're not seasonal?
Mhm.
Just being aware of that. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming online and sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with us today. Like I
Thank you.
said, every time I see you, you're always the same. We haven't talked for 3 years. You haven't changed a bit.
Well,
So
thank
I
you
want
so
to eat what
much.
you're
Thank you.
eating,
Yeah.
definitely. And thank you to everybody who's tuned in today. The Her Story Circle is a social impact movement. We bring you the stories and voices of women from all over the world to uplift you, inspire you, and energize you. But most importantly, to take you from where you are now to where you want to go and to empower you. So tune in again tomorrow when I interview yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now.
May I
Oops.
may
You
I
are going to
offer?
offer our guest something.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
God, sorry. So, what are you offering everybody today?
I'm offering everybody a 14-day opportunity to express gratitude to themselves and see how it changes their life.
Wonderful.
Gratitude1.com. Yes.
Okay. So, I will share this.
Mhm.
Anybody out there is looking for a free gift that can keep you motivated, energized, and on track, please go onto this website and claim this amazing gift that we have received here, gratitude1.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will see you all tomorrow with yet another amazing guest. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye bye.